What they're trying to do with this term American, when they go around the world and do all this damage in the name of the United States of America, they know that there is the possibility and probability that the people that today call themselves Negro, African American, Black, Colored, Moors, Moorish Americans, Native American Indians, Black Indians, whatever we're working with these days, are going to at some point, or may at some point, raise up and take their things back, like a lot of other nations have done. In the event that that occurs, by the time it happens, they will have destroyed and damaged your name so badly around the world that people are going to hate and despise Americans, the name American, the term American, or anything that's American or about Americans, even though my people are the least informed about what's really going on out here. But you are the Aboriginal, Indigenous, Autochthonous American. Do you understand? Okay. Now, there is something called the green-eyed monster, and what is the other thing they call the evil eye? Has anybody ever heard the term green-eyed monster? Has anybody ever heard the term evil eye? And how there are some people who walk around with these little five-fingered hands that they call the hand of Fatima to fight the evil eye. Do you know that the term evil eye meant the possessors of blue eyes? Did anybody know that? Where did I find that? Oh my God, I was blasted. Now you guys know that the green-eyed monster is what? Jealousy. The blue eye is jealousy. Now see, this is the thing. The people that you guys call white, my people think that they hate us. It's like, why do they hate us so much? They don't really hate us. What it is they are jealous of you. And they are angry with you because they're not you. And it really makes them hostile. So their envy where your concern comes across to you as hatred, when really they are just mad as hell because they ain't you. And at the end of the day, they have you thinking you're inferior and that they're superior and this, that, and the other. But if my people are inferior, and brothers in particular, they lead you guys to believe you're the least thing that anybody should try to be on earth. But everywhere you go, everybody tries to be just like you. I don't care what brothers start doing. They want to walk like y'all. They want to play your music. They want to dance like you, rap like you, blow ride like you do. They want to. If you turn your hats this way, they turn in their hats. If you start jive walking, they start jive walking. Whatever brothers are doing, Asians, Chinese, Japanese, Koreans, Vietnamese, Spanish, white, I don't care who they are. Everybody's mocking you or copying you. Why? They want to be you. If you are an inferior creature, what oddity but a total retard would run around and try to mock or emulate or mimic something inferior to them? You only model or emulate that which is better than you think you are. You want to be like somebody that has something you want to be like, that you look up to. How many of you run around and try to copy somebody you think is retarded? If you start trying to dress like somebody, you think that they're doing something that's got it going on. And you trying to copy what you feel will get you where they are. But at the end of the day, they keep making you think you're nowhere. That's something to really think about. And I guess just wanted me to share that with you. Let me just, and I really wanted to have this on 3x5 cards. You guys have no idea. Today was just, the last week has been absolutely insane. It's been absolutely nuts. And I don't like doing lectures from notes and paper, but I've been acquiring this information for months. Here it is. This is what I found as the definition of the evil eye. The evil eye originally meant and still means the baleful gift of men who have light blue eyes. The evil eye is known by Arabs as a phrase called ain. This is a permanent marker. Let me just write this down. A-I-N, that's for those of you that are into Islamic verbiage. A-L hyphen H-A-S-A-D. Ain al-Hasad. And that phrase means the eye of envy. These people are jealous of you. That's it. At the end of the day, they're jealous of you, and I'm getting ready to tell you guys why. Now, in ancient times, the Ankian or ancient Romans, and you know, anytime they say ancient, they're talking about your people. The ancient Romans declared that the evil eye was illegal, so blue eyes became illegal. I just thought I had to share that with you guys. That was something that the ancestors wanted you guys to know, because their position is that a lot is wrong. Now, they wanted me to point out, before I get into this lecture, how you're going to be able to watch the game that keeps getting played. Over the centuries, and me and my sisters don't think they're very much older than 1,000 years. Everybody's like, oh yeah, the white man's been around doing this for 6,000. The earth could not tolerate 6,000 years of the pink man's dominions. Look at how much damage they've done in the 40, 50, 30 years that you've been walking. 6,000 years of them would leave nothing left standing. So it's not possible that they've been doing what they do for 6,000 years. Okay? So don't let anybody screw you up with that. They're not that old. At any rate, originally, the buzzword for attacking people, because what they do is they create a word, and they use the word to induce fear in other people. And they make you decide, well, I'm not one of those people. That's those people over there. And everybody does not want to be connected or attached to this word by any strange way at all. The first word they used when they came out with this craziness was savages. Then the buzzword became witches, demons, devil worshippers, warlocks, and the like. Dealers in magic and the black arts. Then they came up with another set of buzzwords, which were heretics, pagans, heathens. Then the next set of buzzwords was communists, communist party, communism. Then they turned around and said, okay, it's all about the gangsters and the dope dealers during Prohibition time in the Al Capone days. Then it came out to drug lords, criminals, thugs during our day. Now the new word is terrorists, terrorism. Once you get where you know what the game is and how they play the game, you will they don't know much, they don't got much game, we didn't give them much, okay? When you're dealing with 360 degrees of data, they're only working with 33 degrees of information. They don't have much game, they use the same game, tweak it a little, and make you think it's a new game. But when you get where you know how they operate, you know their modus operandi or their method of operation, you always see the same thing going on over and over again. And the people keep falling for it repeatedly because they don't know what they're looking at, because they don't know how this creature plays the little bit of 33 degrees of game they got. All right. Now, let me give you guys some of what we really came here to get. Now, there's a lot of stuff that I got to give you, but I got to give it to you in a proper order. All right. You guys are the autochthonous Americans on these shores. And you have been forced under the sea, which is spelled S-E-E. Please, gotcha. You know what? I think I left some books that I wanted to share with you guys at the hotel. But that's okay. Who's here today that will not be here tomorrow? Oh, God. That's bad. Because today I'm going to give you the clarity on what Rome is and show you how that is. And tomorrow I'm going to give you the steps on how to survive the fall of Rome. So it's a two-part lecture, and they're kind of independent, but they do go together. At any rate, let me give you this. On December 25th, in 48 BC, all the rabbis of Rome were Jewish in 48 BC. But on December 25th of 48 BC, a particular Roman priest named Caius Marius. You guys need to write this C-A-I-U-S is the first name. Marius is M like money, A, R-I-U-S. He officially became the first human head of an empire that controlled both the heads of state and the heads of religion. Now remember, are you human?
No.
No. So this is not about you. He became your man. They're a kind of man. You're man, they're mankind. You're not human. He became the first human to be the head of the heads of state and the heads of religion. His name was Caius Marius. This occurred officially on December 25th of 48 BC. That is very critical for you to know. Now, this occurred in Alexandria, Egypt, at the Temple of Jupiter, which was called the Serapeum. And I may not be pronouncing that correctly. It's spelled S-E-R-A. P like Paul, I-O-N. Now, this is the key that you need to have. This man changed his name to Julius. Yes. He changed his name to Julius. He took the C from Caius. He put the C in front of the Etruscan word for God, which was Asar, spelled then A-E-S-A-R. So he put the Caius, the first initial, in front of Asar and became Julius Caesar, the original Jesus Christ. BC is before Caius, before Caesar. All right. Now, see, this is deep. This is good. You guys are going to love this. He was the first Holy Roman Emperor. All right. Now, he, at some point, I don't know if this occurred during his life or after his death, but at some point, the priestly college did an apotheosis on him. And let me write that down. It's spelled A-P-O-T-H-E-O-S-I-S. This is going to get deep. Now, the apotheosis is something that the priestly college gets together to do so they can declare a mortal man a god. Y'all got that? All right. Now, the reason I'm not making you look these words up in the dictionary is because we got a lot to cover and not a lot of time. So we started late to boot. Now, there's a term, the word Christ is sort of from the German, or the origins of the German word Chrises, and I may be pronouncing this inaccurately, which is spelled, I'm going to put it up here at the top, K-R-I-S-E-S. All right. Now, this word, Chrises, is also the same as the word crisis. And this word means defeat. Oh, yo, I'm going way far. Just keep up. This is how the people, especially our people, got messed up. Now, remember there was something about the Moses story and something about taking the people out for worshiping the golden calf?
Yeah.
Okay, now my, what's the word? I wanted to write it down in Hebrew letters, but I'm kind of rusty on my Hebrew. But I'm going to tell you this much. The word calf in Hebrew is pronounced eagle. Where do you see all these golden eagles? Thank you. Roman symbols, Roman authority. On the back of the dollar. We are currently under Roman. I'm going to keep going, so you keep up. But the word calf, when you write out Hebrew letters, is pronounced eagle. All right. You guys haven't gotten anywhere yet. We're just getting started. The people began to worship the golden eagle, which is symbolic of Roman authority. And worshiping the Roman emperor, or the head of the Holy Roman Empire, which is the Father, God the Father, which is Papa, or Pope. The word Pope means Papa, which means Father. Our Father, Heavenly Father, all these prayers to the Father. You keep doing all these rituals and you keep giving all this power of melanated people to the Pope of Rome, and all of your power and your wealth. Energy follows thought. Melanated people give a lot of thought and a lot of energy and a lot of time to these prayers to the Father and the Father God, and it's all going to the Father, the Pope of Rome. And they're just going around the world just taking. That's all they do. That's all they're about. Now, the Pope is the only head of the Catholic, which is also known as the Universal Church throughout the earth. Turn in your dictionary and look up the word Pope. You got to see this for yourself. And if you have a dictionary, ask her if it's okay if you look at hers, since you're sitting right next to her. Those of you that do not have a dictionary, look at somebody's next to you. It will burn into your memory and be etched into your mind forever if you see it with your eyes. Me standing here talking is not the same. It's going to go in one ear and out the other, because I'm going to say so much. You're not going to remember everything I say, but you will remember everything you see. Okay. All right. Does it say in there that the Pope is the head of the Roman Catholic Church?
Bishop of Rome as the head of the Catholic Church.
Now, look up the word Catholic Church. And if it's not there under Catholic Church, then look up Roman Catholic Church. Oh, this is getting ready to get deep. You guys hold on to your seats, hold on to your hats. Where's your dictionary, honey? Is it okay if he looks at you? Oh, okay.
No, that's okay. I'm going to write down whatever the answer is.
Oh, okay.
Just go ahead. I'm going to
Okay. What does it say in there? Is it under Roman Catholic Church or under Catholic Church?
Roman.
Does it say in there that the Pope is the head of the Roman Catholic Church?
It says to be bishop of Rome, head of the Roman Catholic Church on earth.
Okay. Turn to the word. No. We looked up Pope already. Turn to the word church. You guys gotta love this. You guys gotta just see this before I go to the next page. I got a chronology. I'm getting ready to give you guys all the chronology. I hope you have paper and pen. I'm giving you dates and stuff to go back and validate. When you're done validating this, you guys are gonna go, dang, how did I not connect this dot to this dot to this dot to this dot? Under church, it should say the whole body of Christian believers.
Of the Lord.
Does it say that or does not? If it doesn't say that, then I need to look at Christian. What does it say under church?
Church of the Lord. The Greek. Also in church, the company of all Christians considered as a mystical spiritual body. Then says, the whole body of believers in Christ.
Thank you. That's all I wanted to hear. The whole body of believers in Christ, or the whole body of Christian believers.
Right.
Now, you guys keep this in mind. The Pope, as the head of the church, he has the power and authority to depose kings, princes, states, commonwealths, and governments. I used to wonder, what exactly is this? How many people have ever seen a crucifix of so-called Christ on the crucifix? And either above, usually above, but sometimes below him, you'll see this. I used to be like, what is that? And it took me some years to find it. This word is Latin. It's a notaricon that's extreme. Let me write this down. Let me write out the word so you guys can look it up. Stumnagarigimpios. Extumnagarigimpios. And basically what that means is, that's a notaricon. Notaricon is when you take a phrase and you drop a bunch of letters and you wind up with another phrase that's something else. Basically, it boils down to, it is just to annihilate impious rulers. It is just to annihilate impious, I-M-P-I-O-U-S, rulers. I-M, like money, P-I-O-U-S, impious. It is just to annihilate
Emperors.
the presidents, emperors, Martin Luther Kings, whoever.
The Moorish emperors.
Whoever. It doesn't matter. Now, I have this book that I meant to bring, and I got the correct title for you guys. I gave you the wrong title last year. It is called The Encyclopedia of Witchcraft and Demonology. Because I said witchcraft and Satanism. Even though that's a scary title for Christian believers, it's only a history book. It tells you every single pope that did something, what year, what date, it just lays it all out. It's a history book and it gives you all the chronology. The Encyclopedia of Witchcraft and Demonology by Robbins, R-O-B-B-I-N-S. You can get it on the internet. It has a black hardback cover. The Encyclopedia Robbins, like Robin Robbers, R-O-B-B-I-N-S. All right. And in that book, it says in no uncertain terms that Christianity is the Church of Rome. It does not say the religion of Rome. The exact sentence is, Christianity is the Church of Rome. Now, this new Rome, Christianity and Catholicism, you got to get insight where this is concerned, and that's what you're going to get today. These people were the Neanderthals, okay? Because originally that was just all of Western Asia, which people today call Europe. That's all it was. The Neanderthals, or Adam, or Captars, or the Almas, now these are titles for them when they were in their most furry, hairy state. And Caius Marius was a deformed type of guy. He was a horrible looking creature. He was deformed, very, very hairy. He looked like some kind of animal. And this is the only reason that I can think of that, you know how they keep saying that the Jews over there are supposed to be, or the Christians and the Masons are supposed to be protecting the tomb of Jesus from the Muslims or something like this? If you can entertain the fact and understand that it was Rome that is supposed to have crucified so-called Jesus, why would the Romans be over trying to protect his grave from Muslims? Unless the grave has something to do with the church itself, the wealth of the church, or they don't want anybody to dig that critter up.
You think he's buried there?
I don't even know, man. I'm sure he's buried someplace. I'm sure he's buried. In other words, as Neanderthals go, he fit the description. Oh yeah. Now, it goes on. I gotta tell you this, and I'm gonna show you this as I go. So our people considered these people the most unteachable animal we had ever encountered or come up with. They were horrible, okay? These people were filthy in body, word, thought, act, and deed. They were furious, raging, obscene. They were, and still are, cunning, malicious, treacherous, extremely vengeful, and they were insolent and abject. They were cruel and cowardly. They're the type of people that will attack from behind and attack when you're not looking, when you're not ready. So, what they were then was very bloodthirsty. Now, human empire, the Europe, England, Britain, France, Sparta, which is really Scotland, or the European portion, let me not say that. Because remember, we were everywhere. We were the original everywhere, for lack of better words. But the human version of the people in these places and Ireland were deplorably filthy people to an extreme. The places that they lived in were extremely filthy places. I don't know how most of their places were. Do you know how brothers and sisters like space? And for example, Chinese people are used to being up close, you know, everything's packed in. You know how we'll get a house or a Cadillac and you got your house and you want your yard? What do pink people always want to do? Put everybody in condos, together, stack you up high. They'll come and tear down, like they're doing this, what is it they call when they say the government can take your property?
Eminent domain.
Thank you. They're doing the eminent domain now on people's personal properties so that Rome and these other people can tear your stuff down and put up conglomerates of close-knit housing. Because this is the way that they live and the way they like to live. We are like outdoorsy. We need room. But again, they found our ancestors just running through the forest. Everywhere was ours. We just went where we wanted to go. When it got cold, we moved. When the animals moved, we followed the food. We kept it moving. However, these people get kind of stuck in a rut and have gotten us to the point now where we're also stuck in the same rut. They may have a situation where they have 4-story property. It was against Christianity to bathe. That was against the religion. It was not. Our people were bathers, and we were trying to teach them how to bathe, trying to teach them how to be clean. And we were making perfumes and oils, and we were doing stuff, and you could smell them coming from a good mile away. Matter of fact, they practiced something that they really enjoyed. A favorite pastime of Christians is something called cropophilia. Cropophilia. Let me write that down. Make sure I'm spelling this correctly here. Cropophilia. And you should turn to your dictionary and find that in there and look that up. Cropophilia. Huh? No. They worshipped filth. To the point, and this was a Christian practice. You know how I keep telling people it's not possible for somebody melanated to be a Christian. That's not your thing. But you know, most of the people that you know that look like us are die-hard Christians today. You can't tell them anything. Everything about Christianity is completely anti everything your people are about. These people would do things. Remember how they used to have the chimney sweeps back in the day? It was all about chimney sweeps, and they always show you these real dirty little pink kids in movies that were chimney sweepers. These people, when they used the bathroom, especially if it was cold, they would go urinate and have their bowel movements in the chimneys. And that stuff just piled up and piled up and piled up, and they were lovers of dogs. Our people didn't do dogs. I mean, it's an amazement to me now how many brothers and sisters like dogs these days. Like, now when I say this word, don't get offended. The word means God. Niggas don't do dogs. As a matter of fact, they would use dogs to attack you and kill you, and they still use dogs on young brothers 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, especially in Africa, where they sick the dogs on them and won't let them fight. You know, they'll take them out in the car, they'll let them out the car, let the dogs out. Dogs be wearing these brothers out. And these pink dudes got guns on these dudes. These dudes can't fight. They're not allowed to run. They better not hit the dog. Better not kick the dog. And then when they're done getting jumped on by the dog, the pink dudes come and jump on them too.
That goes on in New York now.
That goes on everywhere now. But a lot of our people seem to have forgotten, you know, what the deal is with these dogs. As a matter of fact, they like dogs so much, their dwelling places or living spaces smell to high heaven of dog and dog waste. Even the king court, King Charles was such a lover of dogs, you had better watch your step walking through his castle. It was just that kind of party. They had crap all over the floors. When they used to, you know, if they didn't have a chimney, like in these houses that are built up high, where there are no chimneys, they would use the bathroom either on the floor in a corner, or they go outside in the doorway or in the alleyway, or if they had a bucket, they would use the bathroom in a bucket. And in the morning, they would open the window and just dump the bucket out the window. And people walking by bow out, because you wind up with all kind of mess on top of you. And people are always asking me, well, if we were so awesome, how could these Europeans take us out? One of the ways they were able to take us out is they used coprophilia against us. Now, you think about you today, your ancestors were just as clean as you are now. If you're going into battle against somebody and you walk up on them, now they have these things called an aegis. Have you ever heard the phrase aegis?
Yeah.
It's spelled A-E-G-I-S. People always think of that as some kind of metal shield. In ancient times, the aegis was something the Europeans wore. It was a sheepskin or an animal skin. And it was so full of dirt, dust, fleas, ticks, worms, lice. And when they go into battle against our brothers come advancing, you know, they doing the whole Hannibal thing, they ready to battle. They run up, and these white boys would throw, take the aegis and shake it at the brothers. And they'd be like, you know, or they be, you know, brothers would come charging along, and they'd be up in the tree, and they take piss and shit and throw it from the tree onto my brother. You know, you can take a brother out in the instant you hit him with that stuff, he's off-center for at least a couple of seconds. I mean, think about yourself. If you're walking down the street, you get ready to fight somebody, and you're ready to go, and they throw a ton of shit on you, you're done. And in that instant, you can get your butt blown out. That's all it takes, is just that second, and it's over for you. And I haven't seen 300, but I'm imagining that's telling us.
Yeah, that's quite wars, ain't it?
That is the Europeans' first war for their freedom. Okay? Now, us. And the inbred version of us that was ruling over them because they looked a lot like them. And when I say inbred, I mean those individuals that were the result of too much incest in the family, and they gotten too bleached up, so they look kind of like them people, but they really weren't them people. Who am I talking about? What's the question? Which part? I was talking about, the brother asked me, fighting for their freedom from who? Well, a lot of the ancient so-called Persians were us. Okay, so they were trying to fight for their so-called liberation from us. Remember, there are at least, thank you, sweetheart, there are at least two classifications of this Neanderthal man. There were those that were the result of too much incestual inbreeding in our people. They were trying to keep their little bloodlines pure in this dumb stuff. And then there were those that were manufactured and genetically cloned in a lab. Now, somebody said there's a third type that's sort of crossbred with reptilians, but I can't prove that, so I don't know. Which would give them three types. I know about the first two. All right. Now, the Christian monks, preachers, rabbis, and ministers condemned bathing. They held bathing and cleanliness in contempt. Now, in coprophilia, one of the things that they would do is they would find the filthiest person they could find that had the most horrendous forms of leprosy and other such thing, where they had sores all over their body that were like weeping and oozing with pus. And the more pustulous and nasty your sores were, the faster an individual could become a saint if they licked your pus and your sores clean with their mouths or washed your feet with their hair.
That's in the Bible, right?
That is the Christian way. That is not your stuff. That is not your stuff. Now, when the Christian churches started to rise up, public bathing started to be closed down because they were anti-bath. And the few of them that would get into the baths, they'd be so dirty, the water would be so nasty, they didn't want to get in it because they also were against clean water. They didn't use clean water. I don't know if a lot of them use the clean water now. Now, the dirt and the filth were worshipped. That was considered holy and sacred by Christians, to be dirty. And to become a saint, you needed to lick somebody's sores clean and wash somebody's hair. Those were the requirements to become a saint back in the day. Now, St. Agnes never bathed her whole life. And she died when she was 13.
I see what?
Okay? Okay? Now, there was one Christian who bragged that she had not washed her face for 15 years. Because she was waiting to get to the whole thing where they did the holy water thing on you. And she wanted her face to be dirty for that. You know, she didn't want any water to touch her face until she got to a rabbi that did the holy water thing. You guys should see how you're looking at me. Now, this is why, and I know some of you have heard this phraseology, this is why they were known as the Lord of the Flies. The Lord of the Flies. Because they were just like reeking with the flies, especially in the summertime. The flies were just like, it was deep, they were just heavy in it. Matter of fact, Edinburgh, London, to this day, still dumps their waste in the damn city river. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is their practice. Now, they did not change their clothing. They would go to work all day, sleep all night, have sex and everything else in the same clothes. And they wore these clothes for years until they either got so raggedy they were falling off, and frequently what they would do is they just go get some more clothes and put those on top. And then they get more clothes and put those on top. And then when these people died, which is probably one of the few times they got cleaned up, they would find that they had all these worms, fleas, ticks, and lice underneath the clothing. Yes?
Well, we have a book on King James that describes word for word just what you said.
What's it called? Well, there's another book that you can get that'll give you more clarity on this called Dirt by McLaughlin.
Yeah, that's one of
Terrence McLaughlin.
That's one of them that I have.
Yeah. Terrence McLaughlin. It's called Dirt. There's a pink dude telling on pink people. Because, you know, you guys will believe it better coming from him. A lot of our people don't hear nothing coming from nobody that looks like us. So, now I know I'm grossing you guys out, but I have to gross you out in order to get you clear on what the Christianity is, so that you and people you know can see it for what. Because even if you don't get them to listen to you, maybe you can get them to watch the lecture. And they can start to fall away from that which does not belong to them, so they can come back to themselves, so we can get our land back. So we can get our liberty back. And the reason we can't get it back, I'm going to point that out, is because of Christians, Masons, Eastern Stars. A lot of you people are helping Rome to keep us down, and you don't know it. A lot of these people took out Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, and all these other people. They keep setting people up because they don't know who they work for. Yes, sir. That's what I just said. But a lot of them didn't know what they were in either. See, a lot of people that are Masons, and I know there are a lot of people in the room that are. I know some of you that are. But a lot of you may or may not know where the secret orders come from at the top. Just like they used to show in the movie, the series, The X-Files, when they would say the truth is out there. Remember how Mulder and Scully would be trying to do their job, and they'd be trying to handle something, and all of a sudden they get called in by their superiors, and it's like, y'all need to back off. Why? Just because we got an order. From where? From higher up. Higher up where? Just higher up. A lot of this goes on where the orders come from higher up, and nobody's really sure where the orders come from. All you know is you're supposed to do what you're told without questions. Don't ask no questions. It's on a need-to-know basis, and you don't need to know. You understand? All right. Now, I'm going to finish going on. Did you guys look up coprophilia in the dictionary? Did it say the love of filth? Oh, they did used to live on dung, but I didn't. I'm already grossing you guys out.
I couldn't find it.
You couldn't find it? It's not in this dictionary? Okay, somebody that has it, can you let them look at yours? Somebody whose dictionary does have it? Is it in the one that I let you guys borrow? Okay, cool. Now, let me finish this. One of the easiest ways to become a Christian saint was to do what I just told you. Another way to move up quickly in Christian ranks was to give them your little boys. To give them your little boys. He's grossed out. Thanks for coming. And I think this is not a lecture for everybody. It really is.
He'll be back tomorrow.
Oh, okay. But it's still not for everybody. There are some people that you're going to try to show this lecture to, and they're going to be turning it off. Talking about, man, get this out of here. I don't want to lose feet. Anyway, they would have to give their little boys and sometimes their little girls to these people to go to some of these so-called Christian schools and whatever, because in order to avoid interactions with women, the Christian monks, rabbis, ministers, priests, bishops would have sex with little boys and female donkeys.
What?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And they still, we know they do. I know about the donkeys, but we still know they're doing little boys. They got the, matter of fact, there was something on HBO the other day called Celibacy. I think it's HBO or Showtime. Go in the schedule on the internet and see when it's coming up again. You got to see Celibacy and see all the little boys and all the preachers even to tell you what's going on. Still going on. But it doesn't matter to you if you don't know that being Christian means that you're a part of that. Most people that are Christians don't know that it has anything to do with the Pope or Roman Catholic. You can't tell the average Christian that they're under the jurisdiction of the Pope. Even if you show it to them in a dictionary that says all Christians are under the jurisdiction of the Pope and the church is any Christian believer, yada, they're not buying it, they're not getting it. Okay? So, you had to give these people your sons, because the problem was in the Vatican or in the religion itself, they want to keep all the wealth and the riches with the church. If in fact the preachers, ministers, rabbis, bishops have children, then these are heirs that can't have the right to inherit. They don't want any heirs that can inherit anything. They want it all to stay with the church. Do you understand? So what occurred was the sex with animals, the sex with children, a lot of incest, and they also used to have a lot of preachers that had children with prostitutes. And a lot of these children are individuals that eventually became some popes and bishops and whatever themselves. But in order to stop that, they came up with this whole vow against celibacy, vow against sex, which is the vow of celibacy, to avoid having any more of these little bastardized children with prostitutes and whatever that can come up and say, well, I want my daddy's money or whatever. You understand? All right.